Hi, I'm Dr. Shinneman, and I wanted to give you an overview of how our Blackboard class is set up. When you log on, the first thing you're going to see when you click our class number is the announcements page. And from here, this is where I post daily or weekly announcements, but I also tend to send them out to you as an email. So you would be having them twice, once as an email and once as a reminder here as a list of announcements. So when you come here, you'll have all of your menu choices on the left-hand side. If you ever have trouble just with Blackboard, how to manipulate Blackboard, how to do something in Blackboard, you'll need to click the technical support button, and that will take you to the place where you're able to get help from Sam Houston State University. If you have questions about the content, of course that's me, but if you have questions about Blackboard, that's going to be something you'll need to ask the technical support people. So here's the announcements page, like I just mentioned, you'll see first. And then I have a tab for our introductions, because I would like for you to introduce yourself to your classmates, because you won't be meeting face to face. And then I have an area called Start Here First. Your syllabus has been uploaded here. You could click this, and this is where you would be able to download it and print it out if you would like to have it. Otherwise, it's just here as a reference for you. The due dates page is the next button. And I have in here when our classes begin, and I have here when the classes end. Our official last day is May the 1st, and that is also the day that I have all of your final assignments due. I don't go into the final exam time. I have them due the last day of class, because it is a class assignment and not an exam. And you can see here I have all of your textbook assignments laid out, which are textbooks 1 through 6. And then we have a part that's called your outside reading, and you'll see where that is in just a second. So you're starting by looking at the syllabus, starting by looking at the due dates, and starting by understanding that in this class, everything you do is going to be submitted through a blog. And here are instructions for you to know about setting up your very own blog. Okay. You'll be able to use any site that you like for that. Then I have a section called Ways We Communicate. And I have an area set up for Remind Alerts. You might have heard of Remind 101. It's now called just Remind. If you appreciate having helpful reminders, phone text messages that are reminding you of when items are due, then this is something that you would need to do. You're going to send a text message to the number, and the message or the body of your message will have this part in here. Send that a text message. It will add you automatically into the Remind Alert program. We also communicate through a discussion board. So I have a couple of things set up. One is an area for you to talk to one another. Since you don't meet and hang out together face to face, I have a place for you to talk to each other and communicate online. And this is just a place that I don't tend to go to. Every now and then I'll go and peek at it and make sure there's not something that I need to clarify. But this is a place for you to ask each other questions. Maybe you'll discover that someone lives close by to you. It's just a way to get to know each other and to help each other out. And then I have an area set up for each one of our assignments 1 through 6 and the outside reading. So what I prefer is for you to ask your questions here. Instead of sending it to me in a private email and you getting a private answer, I prefer that you put your questions here. And don't be embarrassed to do that. Every semester I have people who participate in this, and people are always so appreciative, because they're always able to see the answers that everybody wants to know about. And it's not just an answer that one person is hearing on their own, and no one is privy to any secret information. Everything needs to be wide open to all of us. Don't be embarrassed. I expect you to ask questions here. And this is probably one of your first or second classes that you're having in this program. So please ask questions. Let's get comfortable with one another. Okay, so we communicate with Remind Alerts, we communicate with discussion board, and then we also can communicate with email. And I have it opened up so that you can see that you can email all of the students, all of the instructors, which is myself, or if you wanted to choose individual people where you would select the users. So we have 3 ways that we communicate. Then in the assignments, we have our 6 blogs. We're just going to look at one of them to get an overview for it. I'll always have the title of the books, the chapter in the textbook that you're going to be reading, and then the explanation of what this part of your blog is going to look like. And then there will be some notes to kind of give you some hints about some things. Okay. When you're ready to submit your blog URL, this is actually the link of where you're going to put your assignment. So you'll click that. It's going to take you to an overview of that assignment, letting you see the due date, the points that are possible, a reminder of what the assignment was about. And then down here is a place for you to put, you can put it here in the comment section. You could actually put your www dot whatever your URL is. I'm just putting that as an example. Okay. And when you're ready, you're going to click Submit. If you're not quite ready, you could do Save as a Draft, but you always need to come back and make sure that you click Submit. So each one of your 6 textbook assignments will be that exact same way. It'll have a list of the titles, which chapter you're going to read in your textbook, and then there's the link at the top that's going to be where you're able to submit the assignment. Now on top of that, you are going to be reading some extra books, 50 extra books. You see that right here, an additional 50 books, and they're going to come from some different award winners from children's books. And you can see, for example, we've got the Caldecott, New York Times bestseller, Pura Belpré, Coretta Scott King. You'll probably recognize some of these award winners. Now what you're going to do with these 50 books is you're going to turn them into 5 separate annotated bibliography lists. You could think about it almost like a flyer, something that you would be able to hand out to children and parents at a family literacy night. So these 50 books are going to be separated any way that you like. You might do it by theme, you might do it by award title, whatever you creatively come up with. Separate these 50 books into 5 separate bibliography lists, 5 separate flyers, 5 separate brochures, however you want to think about that. And again, those need to be added to your blog. Now I'm going to have some examples for you later where I show you 2 blogs that I have from some former students. But for now, just know that in a blog, you could actually have, you know, like if you've been to some blogs, you can actually be reading a blog like it was a web page, or sometimes there are hyperlinks on a blog. And in this case, I would picture these 5 separate bibliography lists as hyperlinks. So maybe your first one was on the Caldecott Honor Books. So you have that there as a hyperlink, and when the reader clicks that, it would open up your brochure or your flyer about those Caldecott winners. Okay, so looking back, you've got your 6 textbook assignments, you have your outside reading, and then at the very end, when you think everything is done, you need to do a final submission of your blog link just to let me know I'm done, everything is wrapped up and ready to be closed out for this class. Okay, so that's the overview. There are a couple of helpful things at the bottom. There's a place where you come and check your grades. If you wanted to run checks for copyright violation, like some people will actually paste their writings into this to make sure that they haven't copied or broken any of the rules against using other people's information. And then I have a grand summary list of all the textbook blog titles. These are not your extra 50, but all of the textbook titles. I sent them out to you earlier in an email. All of these titles, and then I also have like where which blog assignment they are used in. I know sometimes it can get a little confusing and you're wondering like, well, I thought we were already doing that. Well, look in this example. Here's the book We Are the Ship, and you're going to use it twice. You're going to use it on your assignment 2, and you're going to use it on your assignment 4. So this list might come in handy to some of you who are working on this class. So I'm excited. I hope you enjoy the overview. Take some time to look around and know that a very important thing will be for you to get real familiar quickly with the due dates. And you can see here you have until February 8th, but you have 2 assignments that are due then. And I spread them out pretty much once a month, except here you can see 3 and 4. I've got both of them due in March. And so take your time and do your best. It's going to take a while for you to develop a blog that you are proud of and that you're very comfortable with. And I'll be sharing some examples with you in the next week or so. Bye.